Hello. Good morning, evening, whatever it is where you are. How's everyone doing? Hey Patchwork, hey Dawn. It's nice to see you. I'm glad you could join. Hang out for a bit. How's the audio? I noticed on the stream last time the music was barely audible. So I've turned up the volume on that, but let me know if it's drowning out my voice at all. Thanks, Patchwork. Yeah, 2 streams in 1 week. Although remember, Mr. Nickel is my father. Haha. So I thought today my plan is to finish flatting this and then color it and see how much rendering I can get done. Oh, good. I'm glad the audio is good. I also enjoy the piano. I thought that would be fun. It is sort of, once again, just kind of a random playlist that I found somewhere, so if something strange pops up, that's not my fault. Well, I'm gonna start working. I left some of it unflatted because I thought maybe that would be interesting to watch. It's not the most exciting process, and it goes fairly quick, but I thought it might be of interest. Because I'm using Clip Studio, I have access to all of these really useful flatting tools. The one I'm using right now is specifically the Closed Area Fill tool, which I downloaded from a very handy user somewhere. That just lets me sort of do like a lasso tool around shapes, and it fills them in. Sometimes it doesn't want to work though, so I also have the Refer to Other Layers Paint Bucket tool, which I can just kind of drop colors in. I like it slightly less, but it is similarly useful. Oops. Although sometimes it does stuff like this, where there's a slight opening in between shapes, and it doesn't want to like detect that. So I have my little aliased brush, and I can just fill in part of it, and then do the rest. These aren't like perfect tools; they obviously have some slight errors, but I can correct those manually. Also, a lot of them end up being pretty small, so it's not really a big concern. Yeah, Don, I know you use Clip Studio also, right? I can send you links to these things if you want them. Yeah, I'll send those to you after the stream. If I remember, you can always message me to remind me. Because they make flatting so quick and so easy. Because I guess, done. I wanted to leave some flatting for the stream because I thought, that'll be interesting. And then I did a ton of it yesterday, and I was like, oh, wait, I should I should leave more of this. And I left Des, but I don't know. Des has like maybe 10 colors, and so it just kind of goes very quickly. But now we get to do the fun part. So I duplicate my flats layer so I can keep my flats where they are. Make this into my base colors layer, and then I'm going to open up this, my color reference guide. Ooh, erase along edge sounds super useful. I would love to see that. So let's start coloring with Lancer. And so now that I have my flats, I can really easily just pop colors in. Lancer's palette doesn't change much in between the light world and the dark world, but I think I desaturated it a little bit. Alright, chat. Should I give him his fancy fingernail colors? Or that he has in the well world? Or do some normal ones? I guess they're not exclusive to the well world. He painted his nails at the sleepover, and then that translated into cool fingers in the well world, which are the bane of my existence. Bleak, hello. Glad you could join us. I'm working on coloring the anniversary drawing right now. Oops. Yes, these are the flats. You missed, at the start of the stream, I flatted a little bit. I did Des, but it went really quick. It took me like, I don't know, 3 minutes or something. So, you may have to watch the VOD back to see how I do that. I was saying that I wanted to leave more, but it just goes so quickly on these illustrations that it didn't take me very long. So I'll leave the rest as flats for now. On Lancer, so I can pick those colors later. Let's do Ralze. Gonna try really hard to say his name right on this stream. Susie, I'm actually going to pull colors off of last year's anniversary image because I think I do Susie's. I like changed her light world colors a little bit because I don't really like the sprite colors much. I think they're close, but I can't remember what I did exactly. I think I changed her hair color because the brown is a little... I've like put a little bit more pink in it or something. Couldn't tell you. But for some reason I never copied that over to the my color reference, so now I just have to reference back old drawings. Yeah, I remember in that like first Ralph Susie Valentine's Day thing I drew, I like really bumped up the pink in her hair to kind of... I used the like her Dark World pink hair to kind of adjust it up. It's not super noticeable because there's like a lot of colors happening in that one, but... I also need this to reference Dess's color palette, because despite having color reference, I have never actually finished Dess's. So I'm just always referencing older drawings of her. I may actually have to open up some other drawings to reference her colors more, because I don't have the colors. She's looking the other direction and she has different earrings on the other side. I'll just make them gray. I don't need to... They don't need to be exact. And then she's got these little pumpkin earrings because it's autumn. Des does have blue hooves and pronouns. Oh, shit. Yeah, do I have her? Are they in this drawing? They are. This is my problem. I spent a lot of time having to reopen, like, old comics pages to pull colors from them and try to figure out where exactly I last used certain colors or where certain objects showed up. Okay, so first decision for chat for today. Lancer needs a fancy button-down with a design on it, and last time I said it was going to be pumpkins, so I have found some pumpkin designs. We will have to see which one y'all like best. Unfortunately, I was looking for like royalty-free things because I like to pay people if things aren't free. And my options weren't very good, so we have this. Kind of Halloween-y, more than pumpkin-y. This, which is also very Halloween. And will probably tile better than the other one. The other one's gonna have like, you know, cross lines, because it's not like a repeatable pattern. And then I have this, which isn't really very autumnal or pumpkin-y, but it's kind of nice. What do we think? Yeah, Bleak, I'm sort of leaning most towards the middle one. Like, it's the most ridiculous. Yeah, okay. I think let's go with orange pumpkins and bats. I did, though, while I was working on trying to find this, I found a pattern that I'm definitely going to use for Lancer at a later comic page. I feel like this is very much the vibe for Lancer outfits. He's got to look like a carpet from a bowling alley in the 90s. Alright. Let's bring the pattern. I have a lot of patterns that I use for this comic. I have a whole folder of them. Yeah, I think that's a good size. Oops. And I lost my sidebars. For some reason, Streamlabs interacts weirdly with... Or my capture card interacts weirdly with Clip Studio. And sometimes I lose my layer toolbar for a while. So now I'm going to rasterize the layer because it is currently just referencing the pattern, and then I'm going to do just like a little bit of not like that, a mesh transformation on it so that it doesn't look quite so flat. Sorry, I'm just looking at chat again. Yes, it is very safe by the bell, Bleak, and bowling carpet. And Chicago airport carpet. I went to college in the Midwest, so I spent a lot of time in Chicago airports. And also Las Vegas airports, which... Single airport. That one's wild. It's full of slot machines. What am I doing? So I can use this to get just a little bit of shape to the shirt. Make it look more like something somebody's wearing and not just a flat pattern. will probably also use the liquefy tool, but I haven't used it very much, and I'm not very good at it. I need to like look up some tutorials. Alright, I think that looks decent. Yeah, the liquefy tool is a mystery. Hi Patchwork, glad you're back. Alright, now I gotta pick some colors to go with this horrifically orange pumpkin shirt. Let's see. One of my other favorite Clip Studio tools is this one. If you hit Control U, it lets you adjust colors like manually. Yeah, we were picking Lancer's shirt design, and we went with the brightest orange pumpkin. So I think for his pants, I'm gonna go with kind of a brownish gray. Not the most exciting for Lancer. No, it is Lancer. I should probably do something goofier, right? Let's see. Problem is that there's that orange, which is mean. He can't be wearing all orange. Could be wearing blue jeans, I guess. That kind of matches. Ooh, purple. Yes. I feel like that's right? That's the vibe, is he would wear purple pants to go with the Halloween theming. Maybe in that case, if he's doing Halloween stuff, actually, I know we gave him fancy nail colors, but perhaps his nails should match his ensemble. It seems like something he would do, right? Kind of digging this pumpkin-y brown for his parka. Not really sure what other color would be good. Or perhaps another purple. I have to be careful with how I color Light World stuff. This may not necessarily come through in the comic, but I tend to... all the Light World colors tend to be like a little desaturated. Even like stuff that comes from the Dark World into the Light World. I have all these headcanons about how they change. They tend to remove any, like, the most interesting element of the outfit. I was talking about this on the last stream, wasn't I? Like how Lancer's cat shirt turns into just like a plain button down. Or how Browser's poncho turns into just like a peacoat. And I always shift the colors a little bit. I try to adjust them so that they're just like a little more desaturated, a little less exciting. That way things in the Dark World can kind of pop a little bit more. I like that for now. He looks ridiculous, and I think that's the correct direction for Lancer looks. Let's see. For Des, her color scheme tends to be red and gray. I think I'm going to give her another plaid. Maybe I'll give her plaid pants. That would be fun. You can see I have all of these various plaids. All the ones I use in the comics are plaids that I have made. There's a website. Bleak. What is Gillet? Is this... I feel like I should know this word, but I don't. Anyway, there's this website where you can design your own plaid, and I love it. I use it all the time. So the like gold and black and red are like my like desk color. You know, they're the same like hexadecimal colors that I usually use for her. And right now my computer is saving, oh, Gile. Vest. Yes. Yeah, I do feel like I should know that word. When I have so many large files open, my computer likes to try to save them frequently, and then they're big, so it takes it forever to do that. I mean, it does look like it should be pronounced that way, but it makes sense that it wouldn't be. All those French pronunciations that are there to trip you up. Okay. It's a lot harder to do these kind of... to make a pattern look right when it's on a limb that's bending. So I'm going to use 2 and kind of try to merge them to each other. I'm doing well, Patchwork. I had a decent Thanksgiving. You remember how last week I joked about how it was a miracle that nobody had gotten sick on our trip? Well, it turns out it was just sort of hiding under the surface. And so the household was sick this last week, and we weren't able to do Thanksgiving with our respective families. Yeah. But we had like a nice Friendsgiving kind of thing. I baked my pie, which turned out great, as always, except for the one time that everyone likes to dunk on me about. I did take a picture of it to respond to you, to send to you, and I forgot to do that, so I'll have to do that. I think I accidentally hit accept on my transformation before finishing it. Whoops. Let's see if I can do this with the liquefy tool. Oh god, no I can't. Whoa, okay. This is my problem. I always start using the liquefy tool and then it breaks horribly. But yeah, the pie turned out really good this year. That was fun. Gen makes their usual stuffing. They do this really complicated stuffing that has about 1 million ingredients in it. That was quite tasty. How was your Thanksgiving, Don? Being the other American in chat. If you can't tell, my computer's really chugging right now. It's having a a hard time. Oh, it was a pumpkin pie. That's my kind of traditional offering for Thanksgiving. And I do a pretty good job, I like to think. Generally. Except for the one time my sister helped and fucked it up. I'll maintain that it was her fault. Oh, well, don't let me distract you from a test, Don, if you're busy. But a dog that's taller than you is very impressive. I remember one year when I was in college, I went to a friend's house for Thanksgiving, and they had a dog that was bigger than most human beings. And it would say, it wouldn't bark, it would say woof. Like, it sounded very much like a human just saying the word woof. And it was the strangest thing. Yeah, no, we never found. I think it was a real dog, or a person with a very impressive costume. Um, I think about that dog a lot, though. Like, what's it up to? What's it doing? Like, I'm pretty sure it was a real dog. I have no reason to believe otherwise, beyond the fact that it said woof out loud like a person. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Yeah. That was an odd Thanksgiving. That was the one where a person that, like, was dating one of the other people one of the other family members at it, came over, and he had blue teeth. Like, his teeth were, like, distinctly blue. We never really figured out why, but I think about it a lot. Why did that man have blue teeth? Blue teeth and pronouns, yeah. It was a topic of much speculation amongst the rest of the people at that particular Thanksgiving party. Right up until somebody accidentally dumped an entire thing of pepper on their turkey, like an entire pepper shaker, and then tried to play it off and eat it. And he was Midwestern, so he wasn't doing well with the spice. As someone from a desert where spicy food is like a big staple, I was very sad about living in the Midwest for a while and not having access to all of my lovely spicy foods. There we go. That kind of looks like pants. Oh no. Dump a whole thing of chili flakes. Now see, I would be into that, but I can see that being a problem for most people. looks good. Now we should do the rest of Dessa's outfit. Oops. That's not what I wanted to do. That is a lot of chili flakes. Yeah, that looks decent. Okay, and now for Susie and Rouse. I mean, you know, it's gonna be based on their regular outfits, but I gotta find good palettes for them. Steal these boots that I already drew. You can steal the jacket, that would be okay. Oops. Nice, Don. Congrats on being done with tests for the day. It's really cool that you're learning Japanese. I, for a while, was doing Japanese on Duolingo, and I was enjoying it, but I felt like Duolingo is so sort of gamified that I had a kind of hard time with it once I started doing poorly. Oh, wow. Hey, really congrats. That's impressive. Getting all hundreds. Yeah, right? Like, the way Duolingo worked was just kind of... I was getting deep into the, like, the competitive element, the, like, leagues, and I was doing really well. I think I got to the, like, Diamond League or whatever, but then I wasn't doing well there, and so, the part of my brain that likes to win and doesn't like to lose, kicked in, and I stopped using it. I want Susie to be wearing cargo pants. cargo shorts, because that's what we gave her, but I feel like the khaki is the wrong color. Let's see. Yeah, that kind of works. Yeah, Duolingo has this thing where it's like every week you're competing against 10 other people, and essentially if you just do a lot of lessons, you'll do pretty well in those leagues. And then if you win, if you do the best out of the 10 people that week, you move on to like a higher level of league where people are getting higher scores. And so you kind of have to keep going and going, and there's like a top rank. There's like the highest rank of leagues are like the diamond leagues, and they're like very competitive. Those are the people who are like actually doing a lot of Duolingo every day. And there are ways to gamify it. Like there are times of day where you'll get, like if you do a lesson in the morning, then in the afternoon you can get like 2 times your score on any lesson you do. So if you're you can like maximize your point getting. And at a certain point I realized I wasn't learning the language, I was playing the game. And so I stopped. Yeah, it's mostly for cloud. They like give you some. They do give you some kind of cosmetic stuff. If you play for like 100 days straight without missing a day, you like the app changes colors, which is kind of stupid. But there's some other kind of like cosmetic changes. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. I think there are probably better language learning apps out there. Recently, speaking of apps, the thing that's ruined my life this week is the Pokemon trading card game Pocket app, which is has made a game out of opening card packs of Pokemon cards. And I'm not even really all that into Pokemon, but I enjoy it. I don't actually like the trading card game very much. I don't think it's got a lot of depth to it. But this game hooked me by giving me good-looking cards. And it's it's destroyed my life this week. I've been essentially just playing it non-stop, which isn't good. Oh man, yeah. Patchwork, Balatro also destroyed my life earlier this year. I spent so many hours playing that game, and it's great for number go brr. And yeah, Blake, just like, I don't have to pay for card packs, and then you open them up, and sometimes you get like a really rare card, and it's like, oh no, guess I'm gonna keep playing this game. You get like 2 for free every day or something, but if you do the battles or whatever, you get more card packs per day. It's a problem. But if any of you join, let me know, because I would add you as friends, and then we could... You can't trade cards yet, but at some point in the future I could give you cool cards. Patrick, Vampire Survivors is the other one. Those are like my 3 games that break my brain. Hell yeah, Patrick. I think that's the way Yu-Gi-Oh! Works, is that you just play the cool-looking cards. I have not really played it. I had a former roommate who was really into Yu-Gi-Oh! And like tried to teach me how to play, and I just never quite got it. I've heard that it has like a lot of depth, actually, though, that there's like more going on behind the scenes than you would expect. Oh, that's really cool, Bleak. Are you playing original Blue? On an actual Game Boy? That is very cool. I do love the original Pokemon games. Or, honestly, most Pokemon games. I really enjoy playing those. I hadn't played them for a long time, like I didn't really grow up with them. I grew up with the card game. I never really liked it, but and the anime, but I never really played the video games because I didn't really have video games so much as a kid. There weren't like computer games, and so in like 2019, I realized that I had money and could buy video games for myself, and so I bought like a Nintendo DS and played through like every Pokemon game that I could, and then got a Switch and played through those. So, if anything, once I finished those, I was looking for other games to play, and that's when I found Deltarune. So, I have Pokemon to blame for all of that. Oh, that's a cool team. A lot of fun Pokemon there. Yeah, I feel like those normal bird types always surprise me. Like they're secretly really good. Do you have a favorite Pokemon, Bleak? Not just from the current game you're playing, but... Question's open to anyone, too. What is everyone's favorite Pokemon? I think I know what Patchworks is, but... Alright. Well, now that I've spent an hour editing textures on these kids' outfits, I think I can actually start doing some real coloring and rendering. Big Psychic Spider Tank, that's Big Psychic Spider Tank. Yeah. I need to look up Pick-a-Pack. Oh, that's cute. Ampharos is a good choice. I like the the sheep are cute, and it does track for Ralsei and Cult of the Lamb enjoyer. I'm a big fan of Fearow. No, not Fearow. Why? That is not what I meant to say. I meant to say Fletchling. I really like a starter Pokemon that turns into the. I like that it's the normal bird type, but then it turns out to also be fire type. I think that's cool. Gardevoir is a good answer, though. They're very cool. That was one of my favorites as a kid because I had a deck of cards that Gardevoir was like the best card in. Imagining Metagross with a bow on its head is very cute. Yeah. Yeah, Corviknight is also a very good choice. You know, when I was playing Sword and Shield, I was like, oh man, I really want to get this Corviknight Pokemon. Like, that seems cool as hell. I like a Corvid. I like a big knight. That sounds awesome. And I kept wandering around, being like, man, I wonder when I'm going to encounter that cool Corviknight Pokemon. Like, I'm really looking forward to that. And meanwhile, I was leveling up my Rookidee. And then it evolved into Corviknight, and I was like, oh shit, I had it the whole time. Like, I don't know why I didn't realize. Because it seems obvious, but... Typhlosion's a good... I like Typhlosion. I know there's controversy now. But also it seems like, I don't know, when you delve into any of the dex entries for any Pokemon, they end up getting really weird. I just saw it, like, yesterday on one of the cards in this stupid app. There was something about one of the Pokemon that I was like, oh, that's fucked up, actually. But now I don't remember what it was. Wait, now I gotta look up Mega Ampharos. Oh my god. It does have a cool mane of hair. Look at that. That's so cute. Whoa, wait, it becomes part dragon? Ampharos does? Jeez, that's cool as hell. I painted on my flats layer, that's what was going on. That's not good, but whatever. I really liked Mega Pokemon. I'm kind of sad that they keep trying to do new things instead of just doing more Mega Pokemon, because I felt like that was really... Like, they hit on something really good there. And, like, it's not that the Gigantamax Pokemon aren't cool. Or the Terra Crystal whatevers. But, like, I feel like those are just sort of iterations on Mega Evolutions, and they could have just done more of those. Charizard's out here with like 50 different Mega Evolutions, and everyone else, there aren't enough for the rest of us. Yeah, Charizard really does get all of the toys. I mean, so this game that I'm playing, right? The card game, they have... It came out like last month, so they only have one expansion of cards so far. And the expansion of cards is like... We know what you really want. Here's Charizard. Do you want like 7 different types of Charizard? We got you. Here's Pikachu. We have 7 different types of Pikachu. And here's Mewtwo. We have 7 different types of Mewtwo. And that, if you want like the cool fancy cards, those are your options. Alright. For now, I think this coloring is okay. I'm gonna start working on the background and rendering. So, I did a little bit of background work yesterday because I wanted to be prepared. So here's sort of the general vibe of what we're going for. Yeah. We've got we've got spooky Stranger Noel's eyes in the corner, and up in the top left we have the Bird's Nest Titan, or just a regular crow. Who's to say? So this big stripe up here is where I'm going to put the Milky Way. But for now, I'm going to leave that alone. And do a little bit of rendering, which is everyone's favorite part. I tend to be a little bit insane when it comes to rendering. I'm sure y'all are shocked. So now you get a first-hand peek at the weird thing that I do. So I start off with a layer of just like neutral gray. This is exactly 50% saturation. Yeah, Patrick. What is an anniversary image without a Corvid somewhere in it? So yeah, this is exactly 50% saturation. I put it in a group set to through, which just lets the blending modes get applied to the background. And then I set my 50% gray to hard light, which does nothing. So that's the secret, is that this layer does nothing. It applies a process and nothing is changed. But then I make these layers above, and I clip them to that layer, which, for those of you who don't work in Clip Studio, just means that you're essentially coloring on top of the layer it's clipped to. So the blend mode, hard light, if the value of your color is above 50%, it applies an additive, like a lighting process. And if it's below 50%, it applies a shading process. So you can see if I were to use this yellow, it applies a yellow. Let's see. Just making sure this is working properly. Yeah. And I can adjust that color, so if that color is a little bit less luminous, you can see through it. Right? And then if you were to take a dark blue and color, it creates a shadow. So all of this is to say that I can do all of my rendering in these layers and work with separate colors on different layers, but they can interact with each other through the clipping process. Yeah, Don, that's how Hardlight works, which is great. Hardlight does apply like really intense colors, so you get these kind of glowy effects if you pick like really bright colors. So I recommend using like very, very desaturated colors with it, but soft light will also do the same thing, but it's a little softer. I use hard light because a comics colorist told me that it's how he colored all of his comics, and I was like, well, that's gonna be me too. So, yeah, I think it's super useful. So, I think there's going to be a fire in this drawing, probably. And I should really draw the fire probably before I start rendering, but I want to render, because I think that's more fun. But first I'm going to look at how I've drawn fire in the past so I can remember how that works. I am pulling up Des' page in the background so I can look at it. I may have stolen this fire drawing technique from the artist Jamie McKelvey, who draws The Wicked and the Divine, one of my favorite comics ever, and the one that is most influential to Looking Glasses. I got to talk to him last week, and he's very cool. Okay. So I'm going to use this orange as my warm light. I tend to start off with light and then do my shadows underneath that. The other way that I work is I will do a layer that's just color, and then I'll use a clipping mask to paint on the color. And I'm trying out a couple of things now. Yeah, it's really cool that I got to talk to him. I've talked to him before in the past. He's a very approachable artist, and he also has an RSI after many years of working in comics, which is the thing that happens to basically everyone who works in comics. But, yeah, we have to talk about that a little bit. His upcoming book. He's got a book out right now called One for Sorrow. It's really good. It's about, it's like a Victorian supernatural murder mystery. I'm just kind of blocking out shapes and trying to figure out where the light is coming from. This color is very orange, so we're going to see if I keep it or kind of change it. I find this sort of like straight on lighting kind of difficult to work with. Oh, you know what I should do that I usually do? I usually drop in a layer of shadows, which I think is going to be the same blue as the night sky. It's not going to be the same blue as the night sky because that's a little intense. Let's bring it down a bit. So I can do that thing, that Control U, and I can just sort of adjust this blue. And I'll use this to kind of tint the whole image. And so the advantage of the clipping layers is that when you draw on one layer, it sort of overwrites the thing below it. So that means the light and shadow... Basically, I can shade at the same time that I am working on the lighting. I'm not going to worry too much about coloring over these marshmallows because they are going to be very on fire in the final. Yeah, I really like working with this kind of like very harsh lighting condition. I find you can get like a lot of atmosphere very quickly. with it. You know, just like one really strong lighting source. Especially if it's that kind of low angle. Yeah, Patrick, I really like this this setting. This was such a great idea. I think, Bleak, this was your idea, right? Um, it's very atmospheric and gives me a lot of space for interesting, doing interesting lighting, which is always my favorite thing to do. Wow, this orange light reacts weirdly to Browse's kind of green, gray skin, fur, not skin. It'd be weird if it was skin. Probably the fire won't need any help being bright, but adding a little shading here can't hurt. Yeah. Yes, that's right, Bleak. I kind of mixed up some ideas. But they were very good ideas, so I'm glad. I'm glad I opened up the process to everyone, because I wasn't super confident in anything that I had planned. Next year, I think I'm gonna have to do that fit in with the lake plus season. I'll have to do a I don't know, like they're ice skating on the lake or something, doing some winter activities or something springtime maybe, but I'm not entirely sure what the springtime thing would be, so. So the other advantage of the that like pure gray layer that I have is that since things are clipped to that, I don't have to worry about masking. Like I can just draw like off the edge of the character and it won't draw onto the background because they're clipped to a layer that only goes up to the extent of the characters. Yeah, it's kind of magic. a lot of these ideas are ideas that I have, or these techniques are things that I have kind of, not stolen, but seen other people do and kind of worked out. Though some of the shading stuff is my own decade plus of doing digital art. My favorite scene in Looking Glasses, thanks, it is basically magic, is the one where Rouse and Susie are watching, monster movies together. Just because of the lighting, I really like that kind of. It's like a soft, kind of low angle, like direct on light, and I really enjoyed working on it. I think the colors turned out really good. It's still one of the kind of standout bits for me. And this, the reason I bring that up is because I feel like this has sort of a similar angle of lighting. And so I am enjoying that fact. Hey, yeah, I mean, okay, it's a little self-indulgent on the Rouse Susie stuff, which I should really stop including in my comic, because that's really not what it's about, but... Yeah, I definitely enjoyed working on it for that reason, too. Exactly. I do need to have more moments of the characters having cute moments together. I do want to, when Looking Glasses is finished in 4 years at this rate, I do want to do like a sequel comic where I actually do some Rouse Susie stuff, because I feel like when I set out to make Looking Glasses, I was like, oh, it's going to be cute and Rouse Susie-ish, and like just fluff. That'll be fun. And then I failed at that so hard. I couldn't keep the angst out of it. So I'll really have to do a sequel comic. Yeah, because a lot of my original plans were like, oh, I'll just have some fun, like fluffy scenes, and like Sleepover made a lot of sense to me as like a fun kind of fluffy thing to do. But then I made it a sleepover that Susie trying to distract herself from thinking about her relationship, and that maybe kind of ruined the vibe. No, I mean, it's still fun in the comic, obviously, but... But I should make a comic that is just like actual fluff. So you can kind of see what I mean about hard light here. Like it's, especially on Lancer's hands, you're getting these like glowy edges, which I don't always like. In this case, it's super appropriate, so keeping it, but you kind of have to tone it down to get rid of those, which I think soft light fixes. Yeah, Ralze being like, oh man, gotta kiss Susie to see if she tastes like paint. This is for science, obviously. I will say the Ralze of who is having that conversation with Susie does actually know why she tasted like paint. So he happens to have information that the rest of the audience doesn't. And we'll just have to wait and see why that is. And by wait and see, I mean, wait like 9 days, I think. Big mystery is going to be solved soon. I mean, it's entirely possible that it's that, but perhaps it will be revealed to Susie, that information. I try really hard not to spoil y'all in these streams, but I do enjoy planting information. This blending brush I use, I really like, but it does leave these sort of weird areas that need cleaning up to get kind of a nice smooth texture later. No, I'm not distracting from anything I said earlier. I've had to instruct Gen to, there are certain... Gen knows stuff in advance because they live in the house and can see pages before anybody else, and so on these streams I'm like, okay, here's the stuff that's definitely a spoiler and we can't say out loud. There's a big one coming up soon that I've been very careful not to spoil because I'm a little surprised no one's picked up on it, and I'm excited for that eventual reveal. Someone almost... This reveal, someone almost figured it out on the website. Before it even became relevant, and I'm shocked that they didn't. It's interesting doing this kind of creating, this sort of writing where you're like, you get this sort of instant feedback from people of like what they're thinking about the comic, and I love that. I think it's really fun. But it's also interesting because it means that you can see where something isn't working. And you can see, like, oh, I need to reinforce a certain idea. In order for people to know what's going on. Like, yeah, I can't quite talk about that yet. I want to, but I'll talk about that at a future time when we have all the information. We're very quickly getting a lot of stuff, so I'm less worried. I'm less worried about spoilers now than I was a few months ago, but... Right before the Well World, I was like... That was like the big thing for me, is I wasn't sure how people were going to react to that. And so I was very... I wanted to make sure that I got to that point before new content came out, because I feel like the Well Worlds are like the thing for Looking Glasses, right? They're the like the main concept that there is this other almost dark world underneath the dark world. And so I wanted to make sure that I got that concept out before parts 3 and 4 came out, because I was worried that they were gonna make me interested in other stuff. And I did, so now I'm pleased. And now I want to get to... I'm really hoping I can start part 4 before we get chapters 3 and 4. And I'm not sure that's going to happen, but that is my new goal. Yeah, Patrick, I really, like, I was thinking about how, you know, the Lighteners get to go on these fun adventures, but the Darkeners just have sort of existential dread. And I was like, well, I want the Darkeners to be able to... I want to see what it's like if the Darkeners got to go into a dark world, right? Like if they got the cool outfits and got to do their things, and then a lot of the plot kind of built itself around that. Oh, hey, again! You're here! I'm so sorry you had to go to work. How was it? Oh no. I'm sorry that it was crowded. Maybe I can tell you guys about this. Okay, so you asked about the... Patrick, you asked about the Darkeners. So there was an early iteration of the Looking Glasses script where the Well World was a lot more like Dark Worlds. Like there was a full like kingdom down there with people and NPCs and stuff. And I scrapped that idea partially because it was a lot more work, right? Like, I realized that I was having to establish the rules of the Well Worlds, plus, like, introduce all these characters and a quest and everything. And it was just a little bit too much to do. And, yeah, I mean, it also meant, like, that there became this problem, right? Because, oh no, you ran out of craft. Oh no, I'm so sorry. That sounds like a really stressful day, but I'm glad it was just a half day. Sorry, I interrupted myself. The other problem that I had is that in Deltarune, right, when you like finish a chapter, you get to recruit all of the people back to Castletown, right? There is something to do with the people who were in the Dark World. And I realized that if I introduced a bunch of characters in the Well Worlds, that I would have to do something with them. Like, I'd have to figure out something for them afterwards. And, that was a lot. I realized that it was going to be a much longer comic if I had to do that. And thinking about, like, what I actually needed out of the Well Worlds, I realized I could pare down to just a couple of characters, you know. Big Titan, spooky stranger. And I think you're right that, like, the atmosphere of the Well World is part of it. This, like, big, huge, empty space I really think there's a lot of strength there to that idea. So, stupid, spooky, sexy stranger. Yeah, Stranger Noel, all spooky in the background. I'm debating whether or not to add a little bit of lighting back there. Give her like an outline. Like a little, let's see. If I were to, like... You know, just add a little bit of lighting there. Yeah, Bleak, you're right about the word recruit. Like, there is something kind of sinister there, and I'm curious to see how that's going to play out. Like, that's one of those things that makes me think we know nothing about where Deltarune is going. Like, you know, we've just had a few chapters. There's probably a lot more that's going to be revealed that's really going to change our perception of it. And the direction it's going. There's something interesting. Well, Patchwork, thinking about the word invite, has me thinking that recruit, like, we don't ask people if they want to come with, right? Like, we are nice to them and we want them to live, so we recruit them. But, like, Chris just takes all of the stuff, right? Even if people didn't like them, we would still bring it, instead of snuffing out their existence by just sort of leaving them behind, we would take them back to Castletown, so there is sort of a non-consensual element there in our recruiting people. It's Rousey's army of friends. Yeah, I'm very curious about that now. You have added an extra element that I am wondering about. If Rousey was like, yeah, we're gonna conscript these people into our army, that would be a very different game. Or maybe it wouldn't. We don't know. We know so little. Yeah, that one Rudin who knows, like, the name that you gave the town, and, like, nobody else ever calls it that. That's such an odd element. Yeah, does Rousey know our name? That's a good question. I actually have a plan for some of that stuff in Looking Glasses. It's gonna come up in part 4, I think. Nice, okay. So that's my first lighting pass. Now I'm gonna do some highlights. So those I usually just keep the same, like, color. want some saturation and bring up the... make it really bright. This just gives me like a little bit more, some more color in there, a little more vibrancy. Lets me kind of shift things around. Yeah, I am perfectly normal about this boy too. I definitely haven't been working on a comic for 2 years about him. God, it's been 2 years. That is a really long time to work on any project. And the fact that it's probably going to be 4 more, if my projections are anything to go by. I do have a kind of exciting announcement on that front. I'll bring this up on Tumblr soon, at the end of the year, but since there are people here, next year, I think, I'm going to try this out and see how it goes. I think I can go back to doing weekly posting for Looking Glasses. Can't guarantee anything, but I'm gonna try it and at the start of the year and see how we go. Because I've gotten to a place that like when I have time to work on Looking Glasses, I can generally do a couple of pages pretty quickly. I tend to work on more than one at once, and that usually lets me finish pretty fast. So the goal for next year is weekly. My wrist isn't necessarily feeling better per se, but it's not bad anymore. And I built up a pretty big buffer last year. I used it all up on the trip. I'm down to just 2 finished pages, I think. But in a 10-day period, I can usually draw 2 pages. So if I have time to work. So we're gonna see. No guarantees, but at the start of the year we're gonna try it out and see what happens. Yes, I won't push myself too hard. But I really do want to get Looking Glasses out faster. Because it's, well, I'd like to be done before 2030. Yeah, but thanks everyone. I mean, thank you all for being such, good friends and consistent readers. I really wouldn't have been able to make this comic without everyone's lovely comments and interactions. this music player is weird. It presents me with many pages of songs, and you can play the entire page, but then when it gets done, it just stops. And here's a Halloween song, which feels appropriate. Yeah, I am definitely looking at Rousey plushes and going, our boy! It is sort of funny how the Deltarune fandom is like... I mean, every fandom is like this, but it's funny seeing it where it's sort of... There are these little groups where you can tell everyone's obsessed with, like, one character or another. Like, there's the Spamton fandom, and the Rousey fandom, and, like, the Chris fandom, and there's a lot of overlap, but you can always kind of tell who's in what camp. And so I'm very glad to have found the Rousey portion of the fandom. Yeah, I don't know why the music just got epic there. This is supposed to be like the calm piano playlist. Now we need a fill light. So for that, that's just think about like studio lighting in movies. Just gives us a little bit of depth to the regions that are in shadow. Like you can see on Rousey, like his left shoulder is kind of flat, and I'll add some shadows there later, but I'm going to start with a fill light to kind of just bump things a little bit. For that, I'm going to say it's coming from above, because we've got the night sky with its stars. So I'm just going to use that as my angle of... Oh gosh, it's been 2 hours already, huh? Well, I won't blame people if they need to get going. I'm probably gonna try to stop in the next half hour or so. Should I try to do a drawing request before then? or should I just keep working on this? I need to have this drawing done on the 3rd, so later this week. I'll have some time to work on it tomorrow, though, and maybe some more later today. I'm not worried about getting it finished, but I did kind of want to, do it on stream as much as possible. I'm potentially considering doing another stream tomorrow. That would be really soon. I know you all have lives. But it was fun working on this on stream, so I was thinking of doing a little bit more just so that you all could see it get finished. But I suppose I should leave some stuff up to as like a mystery. So there's something exciting for when it comes out. I guess I should leave that up to y'all. Would you be interested in me streaming more, or just finishing this? It sounds like, Patrick, you think I should just leave it in suspense. Cool, Don. I was just saying that I think I'm going to wrap up pretty soon, since I've been drawing for 2 hours, which is a little bit longer than I usually do. But should I try to do a drawing request before I wrap up for the evening? Is that something y'all would be interested in? I still need to post last week's. Kind of forgot. I got so wrapped up in trying to figure out how to post about the print version. I need to figure out how I'm going to distribute that, because, like, still can't sell it, and I want to get a store up and running for the prints. Okay, yeah, I will draw. I will draw Susie and the Bird's Nest Titan having a romantic dinner. Dating start. I think I can pull that off really quick. Just wrap this up really quick and then I can pull that off. It is too bad Susie's attempt to flirt didn't go over so well. She learned so well from Rosa and Chris. Oh, hey, Nopan. You're here right at the end. I'm probably not going to be streaming for too much longer, but I was about to do a drawing request. Patchwork wants to see the Bird's Nest Titan and Susie go on a lovely romantic dinner. If her flirting actually worked out in the comic. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna call that there. Oh, there's still so much to do. The last time I did this, it was sort of an impulse decision that I did a few weeks in advance. Alright. I'm gonna do a dinner date drawing. And so I had a little bit more warning on that one. Although I knew this one was coming up, and I knew I was doing an anniversary drawing, but my trip kind of caused some problems with getting that done. I knew that I should have started it in advance, but you live and learn. Sorry, I'm looking at pictures of dinner dates in order to find a good reference pose. Yeah. Also, Nopan, I'm glad your bike is working. That's fun. Do you ride bikes a lot? Nice. That's cool. I occasionally ride a stationary bike, but it's been a minute. I had to ride a bike on set the other day because occasionally on movie backlots, they'll be quite large, and so in order to get from one place to another, you have to get on a bike to get from one end of the backlot to another. And the VFX supervisor, somebody, producer maybe, who was with us, was like, here, let's just get on these bikes and ride over there. And it had been kind of a long time since I had been on a bike, and we reached a corner and I forgot how to turn and I crashed in front of like a bunch of my coworkers. I was fine. I just sort of like hopped off of it as it was falling over, but a little embarrassing for me. Yeah, I'd forgotten about it until this very moment again. That was something that had happened to me. Oh no, no pan. I'm so sorry. That sounds worse than my thing, but yeah, I'm trying to figure that out too a little bit, no pan. I'm not entirely sure what the Bird's Nest Titan is gonna be doing in this scene. We're gonna wing it. Pun intended. This is not my most detailed drawing, to to date. I should give Susie like a dinner jacket or something. That's what she would wear to a date. Man, if I were going to be really ambitious with this, I would draw Stranger Noelle in a corner fuming. Like, no, I was trying to fake date Susie. Or perhaps Stranger Noelle is in a corner on a date with real Noelle, as we suggested last week. Alright, well I can't Google crow on a date. That's not gonna work. The advantage of this one is that the flirting attempt happened before the Bird's Nest Titan got fucked up, so I don't need to worry about drawing a crow skull right now. Yeah, basically the entire Deltarune cast is sitting at the next table, like, what the fuck? We wanted to date Susie, but the big giant bird won? I don't know. There are no reference images of crows, like, standing on one foot holding a glass of wine. Or, grape juice, probably. Yeah, Lancer's trying to get with the big bird that attacked him. Oh god, crow feet. Yeah. How do draw? You'd think after drawing this many, the Bird's Nest Titan this many times, I would be better at this. Yeah, it's true again. How many times do you get to hit on a crow the size of a Jeep? I think it might actually be bigger than a Jeep. Yep, it's the haters table. I'm not really sure how to indicate that one of these Noels is Stranger Noel, but I'm just gonna make them both here. Yeah, maybe actual Noel will have colored in dot eyes. Oh, on the left, that's Chris. I don't know, I thought I'd put everyone in there. Just imagine that Lancer's over at a buffet somewhere. Yeah, I do think that the Deltarune fandom might think that this particular ship was problematic in some way. I mean, first off, I'm breaking into lesbians, so anything that starts from that perspective is problematic. Yeah, again, that's Ralsei. Rousey. Oh, I almost made it the whole stream without saying Rousey. Just pretend like that's my cute nickname for him and not a mispronunciation. Alright, as much as I would love to do more drawing requests, I think I should probably stop for my hands. So, thank you all for hanging out this evening. This was really fun. I had a great time. And yeah, we'll see if I decide to do another impromptu stream this weekend. Probably not. That might be a bit much, but I had a really good time, and you'll get to see this when it's finished, and I think it's going to be pretty fun. Thank you again, everyone, for showing up. I think it's a miracle that anybody shows up at all of these things, so I'm really happy that I have a nice little group of friends. And you were here for 2 years of this silly comic. Alright, well, good night, UK folks, and good afternoon to Americans. See y'all next time. Bye.